Says I'm live. Says I'm live. Okay. The error cleared. Okay. All right. So welcome everyone to Digital Fortress. Today's going to be a quick live stream. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me and let me know. I'm going to pop out chat so I can see it that way. If anybody has questions, I'll be able to see your questions. And so I'm going to explain the difference between active stake and live mistake last night in determining the number of blocks a pool produced based on the amount of stake. And so I'm going to show you how to do it, how to check the live stake. All right, and then I'm going to explain why it's important. Well, it's important so that you make informed decisions. Actually, I should say that up front. The reason it's important to understand active stake is because active stake is what determines the block production, okay, not the live stake. And Cardano is now a long game with epochs being 5 days long. And the reason I'm explaining this is because I made a mistake and I thought, well, if I made that mistake, then other people might. So it might be a good idea to explain the difference between active stake and live stake, where with active stake being the more important number for block production. Because I realized small pools will suffer the most if people don't understand the parameter. And so I don't want to see large pools get wrecked for the wrong reason. I like people to make informed decisions. Cardano is a better ecosystem because people make informed decisions and they know what they're doing and they know what they're looking at. So I just wanted to help facilitate good decision making, because the sum of all decisions makes Cardano smarter. Okay, that's just how large ecosystems work, is if people are making good and informed decisions, then the ecosystem works better. So good morning, Umbra, Mid P, welcome. Good morning, John Hamilton and Pekka. Where goes over to saturation level? I'll answer questions later, but saturation right now is at about 207 million. All right, so I need to get on to what I'm showing you here and why I'm showing it. I'm going to go to adapools.org. I'll put a link to adapools.org down below, and I'm going to share that screen out with you guys. And I'll show you the difference between the live stake and the active stake, and I'll give you a comparison. So let's get on to that. Make sure I do this right. Okay. All right, so I can see the screen and I can see the chat. So let me know. Hello, Voyager. Good morning, BCA. All right, so let me show you this very important difference between active stake and live stake. And active is the more important number when it comes to block production, okay? So here's adapools.org. Beautiful website. Great job, Adapools. Great job to those of you that are the Cardanians who are building this. Awesome website. So let's say I go to Adapools dashboard and I'm trying to pick a pool. So I scroll down the list here and I'm looking at these various numbers, and I can sort by various parameters. I can sort by fees. I can sort by pledge, or whatever the case may be. And I go, oh, okay, these pools, certain pools are making blocks. So let's say I sort by block production, for example, and then I say I want to see pools that are making blocks. Well, this block production is based on the stake from 10 days ago, or however long this stake was there. So, and let me show you what I mean in better detail by using some clear examples. I'm going to use Onyx Pool that I pulled up as an example. Okay. And that's David over at Onyx. Great guy. Thank you, David, for putting pools up. And so if I go over here, here's the important number, active stake. Okay, the current block production is based on active stake. Live stake is what the stake is today, right now. Active stake is what the stake was 10 days ago, which is what the current block production is being based upon. Okay, and here's why I think this is important. So there's one example. So you see the live stake is 18 million. That's the current stake. The active stake is what is affecting block production based off of 8 or 10 days ago, or whenever the snapshot was taken. Okay, so this is important to understand when you're delegating, because it can hurt smaller pools, and I'll show you why, and I'll give you an example. Last night, Charles was doing a live stream, and a few people in the chat, I was helping some people out in the chat, and I made a mistake. Someone asked about amount of ADA required to make a block, something to that effect. And I told him that there was a pool as small as 116,000 ADA that made a block, but I was wrong. I was mistaken, and I'll show you right here the mistake I made. You know, I'm a humble guy. If I make a mistake, I'm telling you I made a mistake, and I'm going to fix it. And then I realized, wow, other people. Okay, so here's Bubba Pool. This was an example. Now, if you look at live stake here, live stake says 261,000. Bubba Pool made a block right here, right? Okay, but that block wasn't created based on 261,000 ADA. That block was based on the active stake from the snapshot at the end of 2 epochs ago, when at the end of every epoch when the snapshot is taken. So the block creation was based on 19.12 million ADA. And the reason I thought this was important is because this could hurt the smaller pools the most. So there might be good operators out there who have smaller pools because maybe they're not good at marketing, but they're good at operating. Bubba's a great name. I remembered that. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go to Bubba. There was a couple others I checked, and Bubba is not an exception. Bubba is it's pretty common. I started checking other pools, and I saw the same thing happen to other smaller pools. So I thought, I better do a video, because that's what I do, and explain to people this mistake that I made, because if I'm making that mistake, there's probably some number of people also making the same mistake. All right. So hopefully that helped clear that up, or it makes more sense by doing that. Any questions in the chat, let me know. Good morning, BCA. Good morning, Pekka Rotanian. I got your answer on the saturation level. Yeah, Cardenesia Pool said Bubba, and THSTK Pool will give a good example. Thank you, Cardenesia. I'll give you another example. THSTK, that was the other mistake I had made last night, trying to help out. And THSTK. So just another example. All right, and so I hit that button, and you see THSTK made a block. That block was based on the active stake from a while ago, the snapshot at the end of 2 epochs ago, but the current live stake is 117,000. So there's an example of 2 small pools that made a block that the stake moved somewhere else, maybe because other pools were making blocks before that pool made a block. I don't know. People make complex decisions, and I can't even begin to speculate what the outcomes are. All I can do is let you know what I'm seeing, and then you can help make a better decision. And I think another part of the reason why I'm explaining this, or to show you what I mean, let me hop over to Pool Tool, which is another fantastic website. But this is where you could make the mistake. I clear my web browser cache before I start doing a live stream sometimes, because I don't want you to see all the nefarious websites I go to. Just kidding. All right, so Pool Tool. So you see here where it has live stake, it doesn't show active stake. So if I were to go here and look on Pool Tool, and I would say, oh, this pool has X number of blocks, like, I don't know. Here's an example. Let me pick another. Let me do this. I'm going to do Onyx, for example. Onyx. Because that was an example I used on 8 pools. Okay, so let's say I said, okay, he made a block with 7.1 million, and then this one was 18.32 million. But if you look at what I did on ADA pools with Onyx, for example, that's a great example. What is the actual stake on that pool number 1 for current block production? Well, the current active stake is 12.8 million, right? That is what the block production is based on. But if I look on Pool Tool and I see 18.32, that's not correct, right? And I see this guy here at 7.91. So you can see the smaller pools can make blocks. Remember, the epochs are a lot longer now, 5 days. So a pool might have a modest amount of stake, good for block production, like Chris's pool master right here at 9.13 million. I don't know the number that this pool will generate, but he's already generated a block, and he could generate 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. You never know how that cruel and benevolent slot lottery works. He could end up generating 4 blocks in one day and then 0 blocks for the next 3 days. You never know, right? That's just how it is. That's how it is for all the pools. All right. So hopefully that helped clarify the difference between live stake and active stake. And when it comes to the pool's block production, it is the active stake that is determining the number of blocks that pool, oops, that one's on 0, that one doesn't have any yet. The number that's making, like my Bubba example. Great name. It's like Bubba Gump. All right, so yeah, so this pool made a block, and the live stake might be 261, but the block was made while the stake was at 19.12 million. And again, the reason I'm making sure that I point that out is so that the smaller pools with good operators don't get wrecked, because people like fast. People in crypto tend to be impatient. Some, not everyone, but in general, people can be impatient. And what happened is on the ITN, we got conditioned to daily updates. So for 6 months, anyone who was working on the ITN, with the ITN got up to 13.1 billion stake on it. And the current network, if I go to the ADA Pools dashboard here, is at 12.42 billion. So the mainnet hasn't hit ITN levels yet. And what happened on the ITN, at least for me and probably for many others, is it got conditioned to day to day and say, oh, today my blocks are based on yesterday's stake. And then the day rolls over and today my blocks are based on yesterday's stake. Well, the problem with having 5-day epics is it confuses me. Right? Like days are 1 day long and weeks are 1 week long. Just kidding. Weeks are 7 days and epics are 5 days. And then I go, okay, what day is the epic going to roll over? And I have to either think through it or look at a calendar. So I just wanted to point that out to you. Make sure you guys know active stake is what current block production is based on, just to help you make a more informed decision. And I think Cardano will be better off in the long run. I didn't mean to go too long and be preachy, but I did want to make sure I got the word out so people understand this better. And great job to the Cardanians on this website. Fantastic website. They've got a Telegram bot. If you use Telegram, you can get their Telegram bot here, and it will go bling, every time your favorite pool makes a block. That's cool. A Pegasus app will do that too. I'll do a video on Pegasus tool, on how to use that tool. That's a fantastic tool that you can put on your mobile phone. And if you want to donate to the Cardanians or adapools.org, they have a donation tab here. You can click on that. And they run a pool, the Cardanians pool, which is doing quite well. But yeah, just give them a little bit of a shout out, and a shout out to David as well over there at Onyx. And just wanted to let you guys know. So let me see if there's any questions. Are we good here? Let's see. Big Pay, good morning, Big Pay. Good morning, sir. Oh, well done, Big Pay, with the balloon pool. You're doing fantastic, buddy. Let me see. I stake my ADA. Someday, Pay and I and the big pools, the pools we call big pools today, we're going to be competing with the telecoms like Verizon, or maybe the big financial like JP Morgan Chase, and me and Pay are going to be the guys out there fighting a good fight, to keep the pools community based. We're going to be going against heavy hitters in about a year from now, or easily. So we got to get ready for that. We got to get ready for the big fight. All right, so Mr. Mont, I staked my ADA a little. Mr. Mont says, I staked my ADA a little late, but ended up delegating hours before the epic, and the pool solved a block, so why haven't I seen any rewards yet? Okay, good question, Mr. Mont. Nobody is seeing any rewards yet. That's the problem with the ITN. It conditioned us and conditioned me. It conditioned everyone for immediate gratification. Cardano is now a long game. It is a long game. No one will get rewards until August 23rd. If you staked your ADA before the snapshot that occurred on Thursday, you will not see rewards until August 28th. Okay? You will not see rewards 28th, or maybe even September 1st, 3rd, whatever. Yeah, so if you just staked during the last snapshot, you won't see rewards until at least August 28th. But if you staked at the beginning of August, August 3rd, then actually no, August 8th. If you stake before August 8th, you will see rewards August 23rd. Okay? So that's how that works. Hopefully I answered your question, Mr. Mont. Thank you for that. Malky Dot says, is there a difference between DIGI and DIGI 2? No, there's no difference. They are running on different nodes, but they both have the same horsepower, and they both have the same set of peers, yeah, they have the same set of peers out in the world, out there spread across the planet. They have peers The relay has peers. They're both pointing to the same private relays, or public relays, I'm sorry. So Digi and Digi2 point to the same relays, and those relays are pointed to all the other relays spread throughout the world. In North America, Japan, South America, Europe, all over the place. So Canada, oh, that's part of North America. So let's see other questions. Do I have to redelegate a wallet if I continue to add ADA to that delegated wallet? From Umbra. Thank you, Umbra. No, you do not. You do not have to redelegate a wallet if you continue to add ADA. It will be automatically delegated from that wallet to the pool that you already have delegated. Good question. And if you want to delegate to multiple pools, you can create more wallets in the same instance of Daedalus, and you can delegate to multiple pools from Daedalus. Currently, you cannot do that from Yoroi. Okay? Currently, you cannot, unless you make multiple Chrome logins or multiple Firefox logins, and under each login, you delegate to a different pool. So you can do it from Yoroi. You just have to make a separate login for each. You open up a browser in a different instance. Okay, let me see here. Let me go. Well, I hope that screen share helped. I'm going to go through a few more questions and wrap it up. I didn't want to run too long. Oh, lots of good questions in here. Pool tool shows Atata pool pledge 3.5 million, declared pool pledge 2.5 million. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. If a pool operator raises a pledge above the declared pledge, that's fine. That's good. It'll still make blocks. So a lot of pool operators might practice that because you want to have a buffer zone. You say, okay, I'm going to pledge this much, and then I'm going to put so much more on it. That way, if I have to move funds, I don't drop below, because you never want to drop below. And that's what the pool operators are working on. Ruru33, hopefully answered your question here. Ruru23, hello there. Hi. Ruru says, hello, I have a little question. What is the risk of staking? There's no risk. You cannot lose your funds. Staking just points to a pool, and there's no risk of losing your funds to the pool. You are always in control of your funds. So the only risk that you do have, there's no such thing as no risk. Like right now, I could get hit by an asteroid. Okay, so there is a risk with doing a live stream. But the risk is if you compromise your own personal computer, or the key is you compromise your 15-word seed or your private key. There's the risk. But the risk falls entirely on the individual person delegating, staking, and holding the private key. The pool does not impose any risk to you as far as losing ADA. The only risk is not gaining ADA by staking to a pool that is not functioning correctly. Pools must stay online 24/7. The relay that their block producer points to has to stay up 24/7, and it has to be connected. So a relay might be online, but it's not working correctly because they didn't put it into topology correctly. That is possible. Let's see here. What's the rest of your question, Ruru23? Is it possible that pools run with your funds when they are staked? No, they can't do it. They do not have control of funds. Thanks for the videos. Love the channel. Thank you, Ruru23. Thank you for the questions. It really helps. Because usually if one person has a question, there's probably many other people that have the same question. Okay. Osget Zen says, if it is automatically delegated, what happens when you want to transfer funds from the wallet? Do you undelegate or just send the funds? You just send the funds. If you undelegate, if you're using Daedalus and undelegate, you're supposed to get the 2 ADA deposit back. It's a 2 ADA staking registration deposit to register that wallet staking key. Okay. I think you get it back, but you don't have to undelegate. You can just send the funds. ADA is never locked. It is never locked. And that is the beauty of Cardano. Let's see. Trader Pikachu. Hello, Trader Pikachu. I like playing Pokemon Go. I like Pokemon. So Pikachu. Hey there, Rick. Thanks for doing this. What's the biggest risk one would face as a stake pool operator? The biggest risk a stake pool operator faces is, well, there's many. Let me think. What is the biggest one? Is having your key stolen and having your ADA stolen. So if you put the private key to your ADA on the stake pool, on the relay, the relays are a little bit more vulnerable than the average device or the average node because they are exposed to the public internet and they're on 24/7. So if if some entity manages to penetrate that relay, it is difficult, but it is possible, very remote possibility. If an entity manages to penetrate that relay and the private keys to the 8 are on there, they can get the private keys. Okay, and that is the biggest risk. If the pool keys get stolen, then your risk there is you'll have to create another pool. The pool operator would have to create a new pool. And as long as the nodes stay online, the stakers will still get their rewards. But there's a possibility that they won't because of malicious activities. So, but it's really hard. It's really hard. I don't know how you'd penetrate a Cardano. What's vulnerable is like the Cardano server, the Cardano node itself is not the vulnerability. It's the server it's sitting on, and the TCP/IP and the operating system environment and all the other things is where the vulnerability lies. Is how can someone get in there and get to it? The node itself doesn't appear to have vulnerabilities, and I wouldn't know anyway. But hopefully that answered your question. Aruba Stake Pool asks, hi Rick, might know a reason why live stake might differ from ADA pools and pool tool than CN tools. This might affect operators negatively promotional wise. And you've had this issue for days. That's a great point, Aruba Stake Pool. I do not use CN tools, so I cannot answer your question about CN tools, but that is why I'm doing this video, because we are seeing there's a difference between active stake and live stake. So you got to check CN tools and check to see if you are looking at active stake in CN tools or live stake. And you'll see that earlier in the video. That was what I explained using adapools.org and Pool Tool. Steenbot asked, how much time do you spend running the stake pool each day? I understand it's a 24/7 position, but how much actual work is done? Well, it depends on the pool. I would say between me and the two other, my two technicians, my sons, Kyle and Christian, who are doing a lot of work, the actual time on the pool itself is maybe 20 minutes checking health and verifying it's working correctly. But in these early days, it's not so much that. It's you check health more often to make sure things are still running because it's early until confidence builds up. But most of the time is being spent, I would say, 4 to 5 hours a day doing testing, failover testing, and writing scripts, because Christian and Kyle have Christian built Ansible scripts. Kyle is testing the Ansible scripts for failover, backup, redundancy, alerts, because we're not using other people's scripts. We built our own scripts. So I'd say 4, 5, 6 hours a day in the early days, just like the ITN. The ITN early days were 20 hours, but the Haskell node is so solid and reliable that it doesn't require as much babysitting. And the cool thing is that we're doing more work on automation than doing work on survival, right? So that's where most of the effort is taking place right now. Let's see. Let me see. Crypto Collector says, what do I do to stop my addiction of watching blocks being made? Nothing. Just enjoy it. Go fishing. Take your cell phone when you go fishing and set the alert on Pegasus tool, and it'll go bling whenever you get a block on your favorite pool, and you can still catch fish. Cool. Yeah, I don't know how to solve that addiction. I have that too. BCA says, thanks for the screen share, Rick. Helped a lot. And also where to find the info on live stake and active stake. You're welcome, BCA. You're welcome. Dan Norman says, can you talk about saturation? Does it still matter? Yes, saturation matters. Saturation is about 207 million right now. So if the pool doesn't hit 207 million, it'll be okay, as long as K equals 150 and the total available ADA for staking is 31 billion. So about 207 million. You can check that out on ADA pools. It shows, let me check the dashboard on ADA pools. I know I saw it on there. Where did I see it? I'll have to check. I'll have to look it up. Let's see. But yeah, you can check saturation. 207 million right now. Crypto Collector loves fishing. Good for you, man. It's good. Crypto fishing. Good combo. Let's see. There's a couple of small pools with less than 300K staked ADA minting blocks. Maybe Metroplex, possibly. I think there are, but you got to check active stake versus live stake, because I found a pool that had 161K live stake that minted a block. And then I went to check, wow, how did that happen? And come to find out it had 19 million active. Active is the important number, and that was the important part at the beginning of the live stream. So if a 300K pool minted a block at 300K, congratulations, that's fantastic. That is incredible. It's like buying a lottery ticket. Kyle Sullivan, thanks for making this video. Thank you, Frog Pool, for all the work that you do. Let's see. Any other questions? I'll wrap it up so that I don't keep you all on this beautiful Saturday morning where it's raining in Virginia and North Carolina. It's been raining for a couple days. Kyle knows what I'm talking about, because if I'm getting the rain, he's getting it too. It comes from his direction. Let's see. Aruba Staple says, congrats on the blocks. Yeah. Digi and Digi2 are doing well. They're doing about the protocol norm. They're creating blocks within the range of what the protocol says they should be doing. So that's fantastic. Umbra says, do you have multiple internet failover connections? Yes, I do. I have 2 active fiber connections. I have a 3rd fiber connection available, and I have multiple internet failovers. So yes, I do. Let's see. And plus, like, if worst came to worst, let's say an asteroid impacted this area, right, and just blew it away, and I somehow managed to survive, I would just bring them up on cloud servers, okay? It wouldn't take long. It wouldn't take long. It would only take a few hours maybe to bring the pools back up on the cloud servers. But I like the security of having a high-end commercial-grade firewall securing the block producers and preventing bad things from happening to the relays. It's just my preference. I mean, the cloud servers work great as well. I just like the processing load to go on the ASIC-based firewall, because you got high-speed 4 microsecond ASICs, 4 microsecond latency. That's nothing, And so that way it's sorting the traffic at ultra-high speed, and the traffic is very restricted. Yeah, I've got special rules turned on to help prevent certain things from happening. So let's see here. Any other questions? And I'll get on. Hello from gloomy, soaking wet South Africa. Hello, Chanel Javon. It's like Virginia and North Carolina right now. Wonderless asked, do you think a pool ETF is in the works to support small, medium, and large pools? I don't know. I don't know what ETFs. What's ETF? I can't remember what that is. Yeah, I don't know. I think what the best thing that a small, medium pool could do, I don't even know if ETF is related to that, actually. The best thing they can do is market and get their pools out there somewhere outside the bubble of the current crypto bubble space. Because, we have there's over 1,000 pools up now. So theoretically or hypothetically, you would have 1,000 marketers out there in the world promoting their pools on their Facebook and promoting their pools wherever they find their clever ideas to do it. Like, I'll give you an example. If you're promoting your pool on the Cardano subreddit, that's a great start. But if you got a lot of balls and you're not afraid to do it, try going to the other subreddits, like the ETH subreddits. I mean, you'll probably get banned, so don't use your permanent Reddit account, but go into ETH subreddit, go into our cryptocurrencies, go into our cryptocurrency. There are 2 different ones. And introduce them in a very polite and kind way, or whatever Reddit likes, and say, look, here's how it's working on Cardano. Maybe Ethereum 2.0 will work the same way. Here's how my pool works, and then you can market your pool like that. And maybe they'll learn from that. And in the long game, maybe that's a good marketing technique. So, but I don't know what ETFs would have to do. ETF is essentially a group of pools. Yeah, there are pool alliances like Spakra forming. So Spakra is a stake pool of alliance that's come up. Basically, alliances help build stronger communities. It improves the skills of the members or something, and it helps them establish standards of quality. Okay, for example. is what those type of alliances would do. All right, so let me see, are there any other questions in there? Let's see. All right, I don't see any other questions. Okay, I wanted to be brief. Again, quick summary. Let me do that screen share again real quick, and I'm gonna punch out. So over here, here's what we covered: is on ADA pools, and I think my screen share is going out. Hopefully, I picked the right one. Yeah, I did. Okay. So on ADA pools, you have the dashboard. You can search and surf the pools to find your favorite pool, find a pool of interest in the list here. Okay, and then when you search that pool. Let me use another example yet again. You can search that pool and you will see the active stake versus the live stake. And the active stake is what the current block production is based upon. And then you can compare that block production to the active stake and then find out, you know, what exactly does that mean. Here we got Pega, the creator of the Pegasus app. And the live stake is 24 million. This is current. So today, Pega stake is 24 million today. So if I go to Pool Tool, let me check that I got that right. I'm going to go to Pega. Okay, yeah, 24 million. You see that? 24 million. Then I go to ADA Pools, and it's 24 million. But the block production is based on, like, about 10 days ago, 8 days ago, the snapshot, the 38 million. So this person lost, this is the person who created the Pegasus app for the mobile phones, and their stake dropped from 38 to 24 million. So that's not a smaller pool. I'd say that's a small to mid-sized pool. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, it's kind of a subjective number at this point in time. But you see what I mean. And we saw the same thing with, at the beginning of the video, where I showed pools like Bubba, for example, okay, where Bubba had 19.2 million generated a block, but due to people's decision-making processes, they left this pool, and now the live stake is currently 261. So it's going to be harder to make a block in the future. So that was the key, is to inform people about active stake is the important number, and that was the main point I wanted to get across. So thank you everyone for watching Digital Fortress. I'm going to punch out now, go get some breakfast, get some coffee, and y'all have a great weekend. I hope this was helpful and informative, and if it was, please feel free to share with your friends, because the smarter we are in Cardano, the better we are in the long run. Okay, all right, y'all take care. Punching out. Have a great day. Thanks for watching Digital Fortress. Bye-bye.